Did y'all hear about this rumor that's going on about in the MCU? They supposed to be recasting the X-Men, but not just the X-Men. Two in particular characters that's iconic to the X-Men. They supposed to be changing their race. Do y'all think that's gonna be a good look or bad look, or they doing it for the 21st century? But when I first heard the news, I was more puzzled than I had a response. So I said I want to catch y'all off guard about this here and see what y'all think about Professor Xavier and Magneto is getting what they call it, race swapped. Well, I don't know the race that they're gonna go with, but from what I'm hearing, they changing it because I'm guessing they trying to make it fit like the 21st century because of the storyline that Professor Xavier and Magneto had was so far back that it wouldn't make sense to try to bring them into the present day because they'll be too old in the present day. So what do y'all think about two of the most iconic characters in the X-Men leaders getting a race swap? I don't know why I'm about to say gender, but it's not gender, it's a race swap. So let's say Bone. I know that you're more of a opinionated type of person. So I know that you will have something that's that you will have to say differently about them being race swapped.
But one is, I know them as being Caucasian. That's what I know them is. That's what I always gonna know them is. Everybody don't have to be black. Everybody don't have to be Indian. Everybody don't have to be Hispanic. They don't have to be from the LBGTYON, all the movie calling for the ones with the letters.
With the letters.
The alphabet
People with the letters, man. Everybody don't have to be that way. And sometimes I don't like that type of shit. It's like you forcing it. It's like you're using race to put some money in your pocket. It's like the old UPN in the day. They wanted to use the urban community and the minorities to build a brand and then dump them. So
they do it with video games all the time.
Yeah, Professor X don't need to be black. He don't need to be Indian. You know, I kind of like how they made him. He was from Europe, and he came over here. He not be American. Think
right,
about it.
and,
The X-Men,
Magneto.
yeah, but the X-Men is already diverse with different races. Everybody's not black. I don't want to see a black
It's
Wolverine.
true.
I don't know. That might be kind of fire right there.
He knows
Black
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know what? If they were to do that, a black Wolverine, I would love for him. But see, you know what? I can see a black Wolverine from Wakanda. With
Yup,
that
that's what I was
technology.
thinking with.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can
I don't.
see that.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
can
him to
see
be
that.
like the Wolverine. I want to be a different Wolverine.
So
I want him
okay,
to-
what's
yeah,
the difference?
somebody
What's
can
the
hold that
difference?
title
So you
because
got
of
Black Panther. So what, we gonna turn the shit to White Panther now?
Hey.
You kind of full of white.
White Wolf.
Well, no.
See, that's
no,
what don't
because
make
you
no
gotta
sense.
realize- No. Let me tell you why it's different when it's characters that everybody know of. Us comic book fan, we know who Black Panther is. We know what he's supposed to do. Blah 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 blah. For the casual, they wouldn't do that because they don't even know who the hell Black Panther is. They don't know who that is. So even if they was to do it, no one would even notice it.
Yeah, but what about this here though? With Professor Xavier and Magneto, like they backstory would have. I mean,
Somebody
like
beating
it's,
down the
it's
horn, they
y'all
might.
gotta face it. That ain't coming out to 2022, right? They probably ain't gonna be coming out with them to 2022. So if they story not coming out to then, what would be the past? The 90s? They would have had to grow up in the 80s
Bro,
maybe.
move your mic, bro.
It
Move your
wouldn't
mic.
have been no earlier than the 80s. They had to be like as in grow up as in they had to be young adults in the 80s. So I don't see them, you know what I'm saying, having them being in the Cold War or nothing like that way back in the past. So I'm thinking they have to by them having to map them as in like who would be good to use be able to control magnetism and be able to magnetize stuff like what area of the world would have fit him in this time frame. So I think they might had to not just wanted to change genders. I mean, not genders change race, but I think it was just more appropriate for the time period. Like for example, like the Punisher, he was in the what war the Punisher was in the comic books in Vietnam War,
he
right?
was in Vietnam.
Vietnam, but you know what I'm saying, by Vietnam being so long ago, to make it updated, they said he was just in Desert
You
Storm.
don't have to make stuff updated. Why you got to update for these millenniums? You don't have to do that. This is where they come from. You're telling the story.
They have.
You telling the story. How many movies get told stories about old people? They making a story about Mr. Rogers. They ain't making Mr. Rogers to the 25th century. They making him for when he was Mr. Rogers, looking like a pedophile.
Oh man, you know what?
Don't do
This
that.
dude.
That's
Don't
what
do
I'm
that,
saying.
dog.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it
Man.
real.
Oh man.
They
Oh,
keeping it.
man.
That's what
Yeah, that's
Mr.
too
Rogers.
real.
But,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, they're not changing Mr. Rogers. If Mr.
I mean,
Rogers,
but see,
they
that's the
can't
thing
change
is, if Mr. Rogers was living in the same universe as Pee Wee Herman, and Pee Wee Herman was in the 21st century, if Mr. Rogers was going to meet up with Pee Wee Herman, they would have to be in the same time period.
So okay,
So
why
they would
they
have
got
to
so
make
many
Mr. Rogers in the
X-Men
21st
characters?
century.
They got so many X-Men
Yeah.
characters. You want to do something with X-Men, you go to the new X-Men. You have it when somebody else is running the X-Men. You have it when Bishop and them and all that other stuff. You don't have to. Professor X don't have to be in X-Men. Magneto can be gone. You got Polaris. There's a whole lot of motherfucking characters you can use. You don't have to.
Oh, that is.
X-Men never come back. You can have flashbacks of Professor X or something like that. Somebody can. He's still suspended in time somewhere or something like that. But you ain't got to have that. You ain't got to change make it in the 21st century.
So you saying you wouldn't want to see Professor Xavier in the MCU?
No. I mean, I can see him as a flashback. Say, okay, Mustaf forgot that cartoon they had out where they thought Professor X was dead, but he
Wolverine
wasn't
and
in the fun. Yeah.
Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yeah, I'd rather have it that way. But then you had a whole group of mutants, right? And he was going back he was talking, going back
So
in
what you
time
think?
and talking
So
to
what you think they
Wolverine.
should?
Hey,
So what you think they should do? What new
Hey.
Age of Apocalypse?
y'all
X-Men
tripping.
with Magneto as the leader?
Y'all tripping.
That's what you saying?
Man, something.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Zach, what you
anybody,
about to say?
y'all feel the same way Bone do about this?
Hey,
Say, Savage, you feel the same way?
hell no.
I don't care.
I know way more about the situation.
So what about the gender?
Mom don't
race
read, so
swap?
he don't know shit about Kid X.
Hey, they got audible books now. It's the future. It's the future. Man, in the
not
future, we don't have to even
saying.
think.
Listen to what I'm saying. Kid X is motherfucking Charles Xavier from the future. Cause I already been.
So
they
Kid
already
X
wrote
is
that
Charles
story.
Xavier from the future.
Yeah, Kid
Huh?
X is Charles Xavier from the future. They went to the future and got the future brotherhood and Charles Xavier, the son of Magneto, Charles Xavier, with the same exact powers, with the same illness and all that shit, except he could walk. Came from the future.
Yeah. So you think that's gonna have
I'm saying they
Well,
didn't already wrote a story like that. They can always. They already updated.
Professor Xavier
They
and
made-
Magneto to be into
Yeah, the old
I'm
Xavier
tired.
was dead because Cyclops still Professor Xavier for the last time after Legion killed him, but Cyclops killed him. They went and got
The
another
Legion.
fucking Professor X to find out he was fucking evil.
Yeah.
You mean before his own son killed him, then his own son killed himself?
So actually, Savage, you agree with Bone about they don't need to bring Professor Xavier from that time period. They should leave him and stay in that time period and just come with a new Professor Xavier. or a different, or tell a different story, and don't
This
update the
what
old story.
No, you not understanding what I'm saying. You talking about the old movie stores, or you talking about the story period?
Period. Like Professor
All
Xavier.
right,
No,
the
no,
story
right now.
period. All right, the
No, I'm talking about
story
like
period.
hold on. The story period, as in the MCU, because
Ain't shit in the
they
MCU.
talking about. They talking about they got the recasting of Professor Xavier and Magneto, and they supposed to be
I'm
doing
saying they have
race
not
swap.
been an X-Men movie. They have not been an X-Men movie in the MCU, so it don't matter.
That's
Oh,
true.
so you and Muscale, they do a race swap.
Is
For-
that
like-
confirmed or what? Is that confirmed that they're going to do that, or are they?
Nah,
just
it's not
thinking about
confirmed
that?
yet, but that was in the talkings. You know how they before they actually confirm it, they put the smoke in the air first to see how the people what the people say about it.
I don't know if they would really go forward with that. I'm saying, like, I would like to see this. I would like to see him get off his lazy ass and walk. But I'm just saying that's just me. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. If you want to make him black, blue, green, purple, who cares? It's like
Man,
that. Like
hold on.
I'm the most critical one of all, because I like the shit to go exactly by the comic book. So I don't care no more. I really don't. I really don't care. If you want to make him a black dude that's from the hood that was suppressed and that was suppressed in the 30s and all that other stuff, or I'm gonna say in the 70s because his mom was on drugs, he didn't know how to control his mutant power, and he lost his hair. I'm with it.
Right, and with me, it's kind of crazy. Like his mutant powers is the reason why he paralyzed. But in the movies, they were showing it like Magneto had did it, and that's my whole thing is by them changing the nationalities, they changing the backstories. It might not just affect just those characters. So like you know what I'm saying, would it be a good thing to change it to update the
Well, the
characters
backstory
because
all
it's changing with
fucked
times? What you say, Savage?
The X-Men backstory from where that shit stand is all fucked up.
Oh, talking about all that shit with Fox is you talking about that shit wiped out. They even sold off the new mutants. Ain't supposed to be done by Marvel. That's how much they care about that about the X-Men project that was done by Fox. So what about you, bro? Let the lady speak. I want to see what she feel the same way about the about Professor Xavier and Magneto.
No, that's a little iffy. I agree, but it's not something they necessarily need to do. It is kind of pushing it a little bit, but then again, like Savage said, in the comic books, you do have that transition in the future, but I don't know if that is something that they need to do right now, because they really haven't put out any really good X-Men movies lately. So it's like, how about you give us some good content and then work on that later.
I think all
Yeah,
that
but from what I'm
movies is
hearing,
trash.
they supposed to be introducing the X-Men with Professor Xavier and Magneto. They're gonna be the front runners. It's not gonna be Wolverine. The whole X-Men gonna mostly consist around those two.
Thank you. At least they doing something right. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
I
then
don't
I
care
can
how
accept that.
popular Wolverine is. I don't care how popular Wolverine is. Thank you. They made Wolverine like he was the fucking X-Men.
No,
And for that reason, I
Right.
hated every last X-Men movie. This was a team base. I don't have a problem with Wolverine being, come on, Scott up there all strong. I lost Gene. He like, Scott, where the fuck this motherfucker became passionate over that? He was did it trying to take the nigga girl.
Right. Blatantly
Come
too.
on, man.
Blatantly.
Like,
He was,
stop
when
it.
I say he was blatantly trying to take her, it was like no sugar coat. Like I want her.
I'm gonna
He
get
said,
that ass.
Wolverine, you know I am with Gene.
Right, I'm gonna get that. He was trying to do a Donald Trump. A Donald Trump on that. Like, damn, dog. You know what Donald Trump said he used to do with the women? She was trying to do that. If you seen how he walked up. Go back and watch the movie. You see how how aggressive he was to Jing and stuff. She like, wait, nah, come on, stop playing. I thought it was down there. Wait, like, yo, what is I'm watching?
Right. They were showing how much of an animal he was. I guess that's how they were trying to put it.
I'm sitting there looking like, come on, man, y'all got to stop this. I mean, I don't care what
Hey,
they
then
do.
with the MC. But man, think about it like this here, Flip. With the MCU, just imagine, you know how they did Black Panther. Like, when you watch the movie Black Panther, it wasn't all about Black Panther. Everybody in the movie had their time. When they did the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, everybody had their time. And with the Xmen, their biggest clusterfuck was Fox didn't know how to share the time amongst all the characters to give them so you could feel every individual character. They don't know how to do that, but with the MCU, they know how to juggle multiple characters at the same time. So for me, that's a good thing. But I'm still wondering, the whole concept of the X-Men is going to be changed or altered with the alterations of their race. So what about you, Chaos God? Since you're a god of chaos, that means you like to see stuff shake and rattled and just throwing everything be all chaotic. You want to mix things up, stir up the pot of ants and watch them run around. So what you think about the race swap? Race swap they doing to Professor Xavier and Magneto.
Nah,
I don't know if it's black. I mean, it could be
just gonna make 'em a
Indian. It could be
different race.
Korean.
Yeah.
It's just a different race. Right, but the point with the X-Men, the races, but the race has a lot to do with their backstory. Just think about it like this here. I'm gonna give an example.
His race don't matter.
Like
Like
Magneto's
his
more.
race don't. Yeah, Magneto's matter, but they're gonna have to change his whole backstory. If they're gonna modernize his shit, they're gonna have to change his whole backstory completely.
That's true.
Right. Man, I hear you. I just think that's a slippery slope, me personally, because you got to think about it like yourself. Wolverine. If he wasn't a Canadian, he wouldn't be the same person. And then with Sabretooth, like his backstory got something to do with his roots of him being a Canadian. Let me give another example. Gambit, my favorite X-Men of all time. His roots is tied so deep into his home that if you change Gambit backstory, and well, change his race or change where he's from, character, because the whole character is rooted into his nationality and where he's from.
Well,
So that's why I think it's a slippery slope.
Let me give you a for instance.
So
No,
you
well,
telling
let
me
me
you
give you a
ain't
for instance. Let me give you a for instance of how they could change Magneto. They could change Magneto to him being black, and he grew up.
They'll get it balanced.
Right. And then then Professor Xavier still could
It don't
actually
matter.
have
Don't matter.
a European, but him still having some type of European background. Him and
No,
Professor
no,
He
but
wasn't
that's
European, he was from New York.
But
he
you're
wasn't.
right
He was
though.
American. No, but that's like what I was saying earlier. Like what they gonna do with Charles Xavier, make him black? It's like it does make sense for him to be Magneto because he would have more of a reason to have a grudge by being black.
Right. I mean, but to be honest with you, I always looked at Magneto and Professor Xavier as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I mean, I always kind of like they always had that dynamic to where they always felt the same way, but they just had different methods about going by trying to achieve the same goal. And my whole thing is I really wanted to see a movie where they showed like the brotherhood. They showed it from their perspective and the things that they doing It's not bad. It just looked bad because we seen it from the X-Men perspective. So if they had a movie where they were showing stuff from the Brotherhood perspective, like when Magneto doing things and he trying to stop stuff, but he doing things and he's saying Charles is messing stuff up, and Magneto have his own agenda, and he not doing things as bad as people think he doing. It's just the angle that you keep seeing it from. I'm just hoping that they bring it more from that perspective.
But you know what? I used to tell to a lot of people, Magneto was never. I don't know why people thought Magneto was bad. Magneto was never really bad. He wasn't. It just you gotta look at it like he just see the way he was brought up. Look at the era that he was brought up in, so you can see why he would feel the way that he feels. I never looked at him as being bad. Come on, regular humans distrust mutants. They despise him. They hate him or whatever. I'm sitting there looking like, wait a minute, like. I mean, so sometimes when you look at some of them comic books, some comic books is really showing you how real life is betraying other races. You know what I'm saying in the real world. So that's what like Xavier said. I can see Magneto being black. I can see why he would act like that. What him being in what, the late 70s? It's already like people don't know like Magneto. His magnetic ability does keep him younger. You know what I'm saying? He aged slow. So I can see that. Charles Xavier, a young white dude who ran across him, got him to start understanding this and this and this about whatever. And next thing you know, here they go again with the fuckery. And he's like, fuck this, Charles. I don't got time for this shit. I told you these motherfuckers don't even respect us. They don't even respect me, and I'm black. I can see that actually happening in a movie. That would make a whole lot of sense.
Right, that could give it a little bit more of an